Not all home renovations add value to your home. And in fact, some renovations can actually decrease your value. Now, before you start knocking down walls, let's go over which renovations are going to be worth the money and which ones are a waste of cash. In this video, I'm going to break down which ones are your top renovations and which ones seem like a good renovation, but they're really not going to give you much value in return. This will help you to make smart renovation choices before you sell. Let's start with what is going to give you the most money in return. The top ROI. That has to be kitchen remodels and bathroom remodels. If you're going to redo anything in the home, it's definitely going to be those two things. Things that are worth it in the kitchen in terms of a remodel. Of course, if opening it up is easy, probably a smart idea if you're in a studio to a 2-bed. Over a 2-bed, we are seeing a trend come back where people are liking their closed off kitchens. Plus, this is New York City, and if it's luxury, unless it's a downtown loft, be sure that you're leaving that kitchen closed. We have a lot of people, well, it's New York. We don't cook. Hello. But a lot of buyers also are looking at some place that they can have that caterer for their nice events. They like that to be a little bit more closed off. Now, one thing that I cannot state enough is clean it. I have seen so many kitchens where you bring a buyer and it is just, covered in grease and everything because they do use it once a year and they never clean it or something of that nature. So absolutely make sure that that kitchen is clean. Make sure everything around that stovetop is clean as well, because nothing says discount more than grease on the walls around a stovetop. Another thing in the kitchens, make sure that you are adding a runner or a carpet, depending upon how big it is, if it's echoey. That's something else about kitchens. Very often they can be echoey, but echoey makes things seem cold. So if you're gonna bring buyers in, we don't want it to seem cold. We want it to be perfect for you. Now, when it comes to the bathroom, some of the items that can give you the most impact is gonna be changing out the vanity. Why don't you change out the toilet top? Maybe adding some shelving or a new medicine cabinet. Things for storage, especially in the city, or to hide storage, especially in the city, are gonna be great ways to make some good return. Plus, you can get a vanity, very inexpensive. You're not touching any of the plumbing, so you don't need permits for it. It's more of a cosmetic change. Now, if you want to do a little bit more of a remodel, we would definitely recommend checking out the current trends in terms of what are people doing? Tubs, showers. If it's a 2-bedroom, you might want to make sure you keep at least one tub and then have this swing open glass door. Right, not the sliding glass door anymore. That's out, that's gone. But the swing open glass door, that's very popular. Shower curtains you can sometimes still get away with, but reach out. We'll let you know it's on trend. Okay, renovations that are not going to pay off. Number one, if you are in Uber luxury and you bought it at an Uber luxury price, putting in Uber luxury money will not give you double Uber luxury money in return. It's just not how this works. If you buy a beautiful home that you would like to gut renovate for you, which I highly recommend doing if you plan on living there, and you don't mind as much what your return is in the future, that's great. Put something in. But I would not recommend doing something like zinc countertops or giant backsplashes that are one piece of marble. These things, again, are stunning and amazing for you, but if you've already bought a luxury property that didn't need to be renovated, you just have to be aware of that cost of luxury that you're putting on top of it. So yes, it may be for your taste, just something to keep in mind when you go to sell it. Another thing, if you over personalize the property, might be a little bit hard to get that money back. By over personalizing, I mean, let's say red is your favorite color. I don't know if you want to paint 2 walls of the living room bright red, right? That would be a little bit too personalized. Or if you, you love the zoo, right? So you have this beautiful zoo print that goes all through one of the bedrooms of the home. That's super personal. Now, it's one thing to kind of play in for a room that you are like, this is our office room, we're gonna have a study with books. Fantastic. But we want to make sure that we're not making every room too personalized, because if it doesn't fit that next buyer and what they're looking for, you could actually end up scaring them away. Things about pets, right? If you make one room all about your dog Fido and you have all of their favorite things in that room and you have a picture of them on the wall, yeah, probably not a good idea. At least for the resale. Enjoy it while you have it, and then when you go to resale, we're gonna have to get rid of it. Next, we're gonna go over some low cost upgrades that give a bigger return. If you don't wanna do all of that work of a remodel, no worries, there's a couple small things that you can do. Painting. Painting is a big thing, and reach out to us because there are certain colors that photograph better than others. Of course, we want to keep it usually white, light, things of that nature, but at the same time, there are some finishes, some colors that photograph really flat, as where some other colors photograph a little bit warmer, which is going to help us to draw that buyer into your property. Now, lighting. I know we can all love some of our light fixtures. I know I love my light fixture, but the truth is, if I was selling my home right now, I can guarantee you I'd have to change out my main light fixture. It's metal, it's funky, it works for me, but probably not something for the masses. The other thing too is just remember, I know personally, I love some mood lighting, which is fantastic for me when I live there, of course, right? However, when somebody is showing a home, they're gonna wanna show it bright and big. So make sure that you have enough lighting in there, especially in case somebody is doing a nighttime viewing of the home, but also just to keep it light and bright for all of those potential buyers coming through. So that could mean that you're changing out a light fixture. You might even just have to change some light bulbs, right? To be a higher wattage or a different brightness. You also might have to add some extra lighting. I know a wonderful thing that people can do is putting some uplights from the floor. So there's a lot of different tricks out there that you can do for lighting, but lighting is something that is very low cost in the scheme of things and can give you a high return. Another option is sanding and refinishing the floors. Now, I know right now we are in a trend of doing some engineered wood. Some of them don't have as much room to play with in terms of sanding and refinishing, but if you're thinking, oh, those floors are really scratched or something's going on, and quite frankly, you can't hide it with rugs, it's all out there in the open, maybe there was a stain somewhere, just know sanding and refinishing those floors is something that can be low cost if you're going to the right people, and again, can give you a great return. Also, make sure to be in touch with us because sometimes the stain or that finish afterwards can change to help the aesthetic as well, right? Do we need to brighten up the apartment? Yes, lights are amazing. And what if we just lighten the shade that the floors are? Might be good, might not be. Everything is individual. So definitely reach out to us so we can go over that with you. Now for my first floor townhouse and penthouse owners, we have to take care of that outdoor space, right? People purchase outdoor space because they want that oasis. If you can put a grill out there, definitely have a grill. Lighting, right? We want to make it fun. Is it like an entertainer's penthouse? I love that, fantastic. So let's really make it an entertainer's penthouse. You're gonna wanna have a lot of seating, areas for communal get-togethers, but also maybe a couple of different seating areas depending upon how big it is. You know, what is that vibe you wanna portray? Definitely make it a scene and make it that feeling, that vibe you're going for in your outdoor space. Now, I'm gonna give you some bonus trends that are coming up in 2025. Art Deco's coming back, bold colors are coming back, veiny marbles are coming back, right? People are wanting statement pieces. Not too many, okay? Not too many, but you definitely wanna have some sort of a statement in your home. Jewel tones are coming back. Earthy natural tones like Mocha Madness. That was one of the #1 colors coming in for 2025, so check that one out. Warm neutrals, rich hues, right? Think about that. Those are definitely gonna be on trend for 2025. When it comes to your countertops in the kitchen, we're seeing a lot of natural stone countertops coming back into play. We know that these stones are beautiful, durable, and adaptable to various styles. In terms of your backsplashes and some other things, go with that veiny again, right? We're even seeing like some sage coming into play. Definitely do not recommend the mocha for the veining. 49 Chambers Street, I'm sorry, you were so close and so far away. But if the veining is the color, it could actually be really cute. We love textured finishes. I know we just put a new luxury listing up that has this beautiful snakeskin finish in the wallpaper. Think about that. And something just as an overall trend for 2025, and I don't think this one is gonna go anywhere, is those smart home features. Now I know we don't use our appliances in the kitchen, but everybody still wants the opportunity to have those smart appliances. So if you are doing something and you have a choice of what you wanna put in there, definitely make it smart. Upgrade to the Nest system or something similar to that if you haven't yet for your heating and your cooling system. All of the lights, the music, everything should be able to be controlled all through an app on your phone. And then of course, give it to your realtor when they are the ones showing your home. It just makes it so much easier. But this smart home is the way to go. All right. Well, now that we are at the end of that, I'm so curious. Have you done a renovation? What worked? What didn't? Are you one of the poor souls that was watching HGTV and you were like, I can definitely knock down this wall and go through that pipe and make this open concept happen? Tell us the story. I want to hear that one for sure. I think if I didn't live in New York City, I probably would have done that. So I get it. Any other trends that you're hearing? Again, please share. And of course, if you have any real estate needs, we at the Wheelock team would love to be your global real estate resource of choice. So reach out. Contact information is in the description box below. Until next time, bye guys.